Former Congressman George Santos, no stranger to controversy, this past week was no different. He caused quite a stir attending President Biden's State of the Union address.
And later he posted on social media announcing his intention to run for Congress again and challenge fellow Republican Nick Lalotta in New York's 1st Congressional District. He joins us right now on Good Day New York. The former congressman is going to tell us a whole lot of things, I think, here. First of all, thank you for joining us on Good Day New York. You know, as soon as you were at the State of the Union on Thursday and then you posted on X that you were planning on running again, I'm going to ask you the question that everybody keeps talking about. One, are you kidding? And are you serious about running again?
Absolutely.
Why?
It's my right as an American citizen, and I'm sorry I didn't scratch the itch last time around. I mean, should have let me stay at least my whole term. Well, maybe I would have just scratched the itch. They did this to themselves.
Well, okay, you got expelled, and a lot of people are wondering if this is for publicity. Your former spokesperson, Nasa Woomer, has already come out and said, you know, look, the attention has gone to your head, that you're basically doing this for ego. People are wondering, is this for publicity or is this for real?
I don't need publicity, Kurt. I left office December 1st. I've still managed to stay in the headlines, not to my own doing. George Santos goes on Cameo. 80 articles the next day because I'm on Cameo. There's hundreds of other people on Cameo, but the media's obsession with trying to report on everything I do. So to say that I'm the one seeking the attention when I'm going about my life after I'm exited from Congress, it's not my fault. I'm not the one seeking the attention. The media seems to just gravitate towards me. I walk into the State of the Union as a former member of Congress. Everybody knows we retain life privileges to the floor. Guess what other notable former member of Congress was in the floor and nobody really talked about? Governor Kathy Hochul. I didn't see anybody go crazy over it.
Yeah, but she was not expelled from Congress.
I get that.
So Congressman Richie Torres now, after, you know, he called it a stunt, showing up in D.C., he wants to introduce a bill that would bar anybody who was expelled from Congress from coming back.
A bill that is nothing more than it's seeking attention. You want to talk about seeking publicity and attention? Richie Torres is seeking publicity and attention because he knows that his bill is not germane and it's unconstitutional. So it's another messaging stunt for Richie Torres to stay relevant. Since I'm no longer there, Richie is no longer relevant. So he doesn't get the news waves. I come in, I do Richie a favor, I do Dan Goldman a favor. All these guys thrived on name ID because I was there.
So let me ask you something. What do you really need to get done to do this? Because you're not going to run in the old congressional district. You're running in Congressional District 1, which is what? What area is
it's
that?
It's Suffolk County. Essentially, it's north of the of Oyster Bay into Huntington, Smithtown, Brookhaven, and it goes all the way into the Hamptons.
All right, so you have to move to that district, I'm assuming?
You don't legally have to. Nick Lalotta doesn't live in the district. He lives in Amityville Harbor and Andrew Garbarino's
district. So you're running
district.
against Nick Lalotta?
Yes.
You think you have a shot against Nick Lalotta?
Absolutely.
What?
Well, look, here's the reality. This is a conservative district that Trump won, right? So you need to look at the numbers the way it was redistricted. And simple. I have a 96.3% conservative voting record. Lalotta has a 70 and change. So when you're looking at conservative track record, I'm here to debate this on the merits, on the policies, on the issues. Now, if Nick wants to go into personal attacks and smears, that's fine. But here's one thing. There's nothing that hasn't been said about me in the national media. So what is he going to come up with next? Is he going to recycle
Well, your
last year's talking
credibility
points?
is still a problem.
Well, Rosanna, I think credibility you fix by being transparent. I've made my life so transparent at this point. I have no issues answering any tough questions. I have no issue facing the media. I've never walked away from the media. Third time I'm on your show. I've always taken your hard questions.
You're up on federal charges here in September. This is obviously before the election. You talk about rebuilding credibility. Do you think that people believe anything you say? That is probably the real question.
Look, you should ask that to the voters. I think I would invite you to go into the district and go into and ask the voters. I have 80 volunteers signed up to my campaign who are in the district already. You
know, you talk about other people getting fame off of you. Do you think there's any difference between fame and infamy right now?
I didn't say fame. I just said attention. Right?
Okay.
So you guys aren't getting it. Richie Torres isn't getting your attention until I come into the mix and he comes up with a non-germane, unconstitutional bill that's a gimmick to get attention.
Well, not to defend Richie Torres, but he was on the show a couple of weeks ago as well. So other people in Congress don't have to get your attention in order to get our attention. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not attacking you by any means. I would like to know, though, why you say you hadn't scratched that itch before. What is the itch that you're missing that you didn't get scratched before?
What has the 118th Congress accomplished? Let's be serious for the American people. Zilch. Republicans in leadership have done nothing for the American people. The two accomplishments of the 118th Congress is replacing the Speaker of the House and expelling George Santos. That's pretty abysmal for the American people.
But you know what? You introduced, what, 40 resolutions or bills and not garnered one signature while you...
No, we did have a co-sponsor.
I think it was...
But you didn't get any votes.
You got nothing.
Well,
yeah.
But
neither has Lilloda, neither has most freshmen. What are we talking about? I had 4 amendments passed, just like Lilloda had amendments passed in bills. The reality is, as a freshman member of Congress, the expectation that we're going to have a bill that's going to actually, in your freshman year, get subscribed and passed into law, it's wishful. That's pie in the sky.
all right, you're going to continue with Cameo. What's going on?
Well, I can continue with Cameo until I can't. So
And what's
yeah.
going on with you and Jimmy Kimmel because you sued him?
I'm suing him for fraud, right? Look, what he calls a prank, the legal community and my attorneys call fraud. He committed fraud under the processes of copyright and licensing. Well, it's quite a simple case. It's a slam dunk, and it's bulletproof. So I look very much forward to hearing what Jimmy Kimmel and his attorneys have to say. Because, quite frankly, last laughs on Jimmy Kimmel for not being organically funny and not taking all the content out there that's organically generated and trying to make content with poorly scripted cameos that essentially led to what? Fraud charges.
I want to get to one legislative question here. You can't just get on the ballot right now, right?
Well, you have to petition to be on the ballot.
Okay,
Even incumbents have to.
Exactly,
yes,
that's one. So what is the process for you, and where are you in that process?
So we need to collect at least 1,250 signatures, 1,250 signatures to get on the ballot. Historically, you collect at least 2 to 3x that amount in order to bulletproof your signature, just in case there's an error, somebody filled out something wrong, you can't make out an address or whatever. So that process starts this weekend when I do my first deployment. I started a meeting with volunteers, went through the legal process of building the petition and everything, because remember, I am no longer an establishment-backed candidate, so I don't have any of that support, and it's incumbent on my campaign to go ahead and do that. That is an arduous task, and we'll figure out if I make the ballot or not on April 4th. This is not easy to do.
Right, and then still facing charges, as Kurt brought up, in September.
Yeah, we're going through the process there too.
Those are pretty serious charges.
And we're going through the process, Rosanna.
Okay. George Santos, we're keeping an eye on you.
Yes. So is everyone else. Thank you very much. Thanks for taking the time and coming and joining us this morning and answering the questions.
You bet. Thank you, Kurt.
All right.